Hello, I'm going to do the Capricorn energy reading, and this may or may not resonate with you. If it does, take the parts that do resonate. If it does not, leave what does not resonate, as that may be meant for someone else. All right, so I decided that we're gonna get, what are you struggling with, energy right now, energy that's going on right now, and then future energy. All right. What's going on with Capricorn? All right, we have the Queen of Pentacles, the Five of Wands, and the Eight of Swords. So I feel like that's kind of what you're struggling with. I feel like I just feel like you're either around a lot of arguments and disagreements with a friend that you have that is close to you, or I feel like maybe you're shutting down, like you're just shutting down from the people that are around you. Sometimes when we're struggling through things, like we don't want to be surrounded by people. Like we're just like, that's it. I want to be a hermit and I want to be left alone. And you're just shutting down because you're struggling with things that are going on within yourself. And, you know, it could be that like part of you wants to continue with a relationship or a friendship or a partnership, and then part of you doesn't, or it's just like you have a lot of emotions and frustrations and feelings going on with yourself, and you're like feeling like you just want to shut down. And it could be that your friends are trying to pull you out, but you're like, no, I just want to be alone. I just want to be by myself. All right, current energy. Okay, Wheel of Fortune, Page of Cups, new emotions, new feelings. I almost feel like there may be somebody around you that is affecting you. I feel like there's somebody that's like I feel like you're worried about what other people have to say. You're worried about what other people are saying. Like I feel like there's something that you want to do, but I feel like you're stopping yourself from doing it because you're worried about what other people are going to say and how they're going to react to it. And I feel like that's something that has stopped you from doing things that you like to do or you want to do. And I feel like it may be making you feel guilty about how you feel, because people have a way of doing that, making you feel guilty. And I feel like that's what's going on here. And I almost feel like that energy has become so much around you that you're just shutting down. You're like, well, I'm not going to say anything, like, because I can't say anything that's right? Or I'm not going to do anything because they're always complaining or whining about what I have to say. But I feel like this current energy right here is I feel like it's come time for that to change, right? It's come time for you to not worry about what other people have to say, because it's your life, right? They're not controlling your life. You are controlling your life, right? You have to make those changes. You have to take control. They can say their opinion and say what they want, but ultimately it's your decision on what it is that you want to do. And then maybe it's about looking at those relationships and say, do I really need to have that person around me if they're not going to be supportive and they're always making me feel like I'm feeling held back, right? Because the Five of Swords is kind of, those people are in the background, and he's like, I'm not listening to that anymore. I'm ready to make some changes. And we have the Page of Cups, which is young, new energy, and that has to do with emotions and feelings. And with the Wheel of Fortune there, it's like, it's time to change this up, right? It's time to change things up from this energy over here. Future energies, we have the Nine of Swords. Again, it's about worrying about things that you can't control does not help yourself. And I feel like it's you looking at that, right? It's you looking at, okay, I'm stressing about all of this, but no matter how many times you replay that in your head, and no matter how many times you're stressing at it and you're having anxiety about it, it's not going to change. If it's not going to change what's going on, then it's only hurting yourself. And I know that that's hard to get past, because I'm definitely a worrier and a stressor. I'm working on not being as bad with that. But I feel like if you're aware of it and you're saying, I'm just exhausting myself and I'm putting myself in a harder position, right? That I need to make those changes, right? Seven of Wands. I need to look out for myself and say, hey, self, stop worrying about things that you can't control, right? It's giving you anxiety and it's giving you stress. We have the Page of Pentacles, which I love, is because another page is young, new energy, and it's like good, positive, new changes, right? I feel like it's being more aware of those actions and those things that you're thinking about, and the ways that you're holding yourself back. Bottom of the deck, the Hierophant, which is Taurus, which can be that belief, right? Your belief, your faith. It could be that strong foundation of a family. It could be that person that you trust wholeheartedly, that you can talk to, that will give you that good advice. You know, sometimes that tough love, but will give you that advice that you feel, hey, I can really trust this person because I know they have my best intentions in what it is that they have to say. All right. Okay. Let's see. All right, so we have the Capricorn card come out, which I feel like that kind of represents that toxic energy that you're keeping yourself in. I feel like you're being surrounded by it, however that represents, and that you're starting to shut down, right? That you're starting to close yourself off. You're like, I don't want to say anything. I don't want to do anything. I don't want to be anywhere. I just want to keep to myself. Because you're surrounded by this energy, and you're like, well, if I just stay in my little shell, then I don't have to, nothing will bother me. But I feel like that's something that you have to be aware of. But I also feel like the Devil card is that you coming into your own and realizing, okay, that I'm going to have to make some changes here, because this is not how I want my life to be. This is not how I want things to happen. Making those changes for yourself, right? Kind of, you have to make some decisions here. We have the Hierophant again. That could be Taurus. Justice is Libra, so it could be those people that are around you. But I also feel like it's you have to have that belief and faith in yourself, right? That if you don't have that, then you know that's what you need to work on, and that's what you have to believe in, that hey, I'm going to look out for me, and I'm going to make those changes that are best for me. We have Four of Wands, and I feel like it's closer, steadier relationships, ones that you can trust, ones that you can kind of lean on if you need to, but you also have to have that hope, right? And that desire and that direction, and you know, with that changing those relationships, changing those people that you have around you. Just like I was saying here with that Five of Swords, are you surrounding yourself with people that are not uplifting you? Are you surrounding yourself with people that have too much of an opinion, right? That they're making decisions for you in your life. And is that something that you have to work on? And is that something that you have to adjust within yourself? You know, sometimes we have to have those people in our life, but we need to just back away. That we just need to be like, okay, like I'm just not going to share as much information with them. I'm not going to talk with them as much, and I'm just going to back away. And you'd be surprised that if you when you get away from that energy, you feel this lightness that comes around you, and you're like, wow, I feel so much better because I'm not worrying about what this other person is going to say, or I'm not going to have what that person has to say affect me because it's not putting me in a good place, right? I feel like it's looking at all of the different options and opportunities that you have that can come in for you once you're able to move away from this energy, right? Because where you're kind of closing yourself off. But I feel like looking at those opportunities and those things that make you happy, that give you fire, that give you passion, that make you happy, those things that you want to do, surrounding yourself. You know what? Recently, my friend came over, and we went to a gardening center, and she's really good. Her yard is beautiful. Her gardens and flowers are beautiful. So I was admiring them. So we went and we picked out some plants and stuff, and I put some planters on my patio. And let me tell you, it's made a huge difference. And it's just something as easy. Hey, go to a garden center, you know, pick out a pot, put some flowers on it, and either in the house or outside of the house. And you'd be surprised, right? Or you can make a little herb garden or something like that, and just have that. And it gets your mind off other stuff as you're like, you know, picking out the flowers, or you have, you know, your little planter or your flowers, and you're picking out the weeds and you're watering it and you're fertilizing it and you're doing all of those things, that's kind of, you know, it's surrounding yourself with those things that helps the energy to change up, right? And like I've said before, if you have those triggers within your house, if they're pictures or they're items that someone gave to you and, you know, it brings you back to those memories, maybe just pack those up and put those away, put them in the closet, put them in the garage, give them to someone else, donate them, and get those out and just buy a couple new things, you know, just sometimes just a couple throw pillows or a rug or a painting that can really change your energy, right? That can really turn things around. And then what you do is you take that energy and you work off of that, and you're like, oh, I feel really good. Like, I want to continue this feeling, right? What else can I do to stay in this energy, right? I feel like you have to realize that you are in control of, if you are letting those people in, if you're letting those people control you, right, that you are letting them do that, but you have to stand up and say, I'm not going to be in that Nine of Swords energy anymore, that I want to turn things around for the good. And it's something that's going to take some time. It's a process. It's day by day. It's not something that happens overnight. But I feel like if you're just aware of the situation, sometimes I feel like that's, like, we're not even, sometimes someone will ask you that question and you think about it and you're like, wow, that's a really good statement. That's a really good question. And that leads you down that path to kind of really thinking about things and seeing things from a different perspective. And you're like, yeah, you know what? I do that. That is a bad habit, or that is something that I have to change, or I am letting them affect me. And it's kind of that light bulb that goes off. I love it. The Judgment card, the light bulb that goes off. The awakening, renewal, revival, the changes, seeing things differently, being more aware of things, being more aware of, am I putting myself in this Nine of Swords energy, right? Am I worrying about things that I can't control? The Hermit, Virgo. So looking within and lighting that path. And just seeing really what makes you happy, right? What changes can you make if you're feeling that you're in this Nine of Swords? What changes can you make so that you're not in that Nine of Swords energy anymore, right? What are those changes? Just like I said, getting a little pot, getting some flowers, right? If you like to do that, getting a little herb garden, right? And so then you can cook with it. That's really fun. Like yesterday, I made a really good recipe. I had seen it. Someone had sent it to me from TikTok. It was where you have cherry tomatoes, and then you put olive oil, salt, and pepper, and then you put a block of feta cheese in it, and then you bake it, and then you mix it all together, and then you put fresh basil in there, and garlic in there, and then they put it on pasta, but I put it on pizza dough, and it was really, really good. So it was so nice to be able, I had got myself a basil plant, so I went out and I snipped some basil, and I cut it up, and it smelled so good. And just doing little things that make you feel happy like that, right? That gives you that pleasure and that enjoyment that make you happy, whatever those things may be. And I feel like it's feeding off that energy, feeding off that feeling. Remember that feeling that you had when you were doing those things, and to get yourself back to that when you feel like yourself slipping back into that Nine of Swords energy. All right, bottom of the cup, we have the Page of Cups. And again, pages is young energy, new feelings. We have two of the Page of Cups. It's new feelings, new emotions, right? New energy, feeling more positive. I just feel like that's something that makes you feel motivated, like remembering that good feeling, so that when you feel again you're in that Nine of Swords, that you want to get back to that good feeling. All right, so let's get Lenormand. I'm kind of feeling like these too. All right, we have dog, so cute, best friend, right? Surrounding yourself with those people that you trust, those good friends. It could be your pets, right? I have fish. I love my fish. So maybe it's getting yourself a fish, right? And that is something that I love watching my fish. It's relaxing. I enjoy it. They have personalities, believe it or not, which is what I never knew. I have a fish, his name is Norbert, and he definitely has an attitude, and he likes his breakfast in the morning. And he waits at that one part of the tank for me to get him breakfast, and he's really funny, and he makes me happy, and it's, you know, he makes me smile and he makes me laugh. And it could be just, you know, focusing on your pets, taking your pets for a walk, right? If you have a dog, taking them for a walk. That's always good because you can get out and they like it and you're getting exercise and you're having that alone time to yourself, right? And to maybe focus and spend more time with them, and that makes you happy. They're silly, they're funny, they're there, you know, they're like, you know, especially with the little dog there, he's like holding his leash, he's like, hey, take me for a walk, let's go outside, let's get some fresh air. And then we have the park, and then that's all of those flowers and that vegetation, right? And that's what I was saying about planting a little garden of your own, but there's also like the steps that are leading up to the park. And it's those steps that you have to take to get to that point, right? To build that garden, or to be in a place where you feel like you're just escaping, or you're just having that recharge moment where you're able to think and process things on your own, maybe building yourself your own little garden. It's just something to think about, right? Different ideas, different thoughts on things that you can do to help you get into that positive energy, and to focus on that and to remember that, and then build on that to move forward, because it's little by little, right? It's little by little, one piece at a time, one part at a time. Sometimes you feel like you're not getting anywhere, right? But then when you look back, you really are. And that's why on my community page, I post those motivational messages, you know, just to, you know, put those out there for you to read and for you to see and to help motivate you, right? And to get you into that positive energy and to achieve all of those things that you want to achieve and have that fulfilling life. All right. Thank you so much for watching. As always, stay positive, stay safe, and I will see you next time.